Good afternoon, and welcome to Global Minds. Today, we're discussing a topic that's very important to parents and educators all over the world. The main question is this: should children be taught multiple languages from a very young age? Is it a great advantage for their future, or could it possibly be harmful to their development? We have two excellent guests to help us explore this. On one side, we have Dr. Elena Vance, a respected child psychologist and linguist. She believes early language education is very beneficial. And on the other side, we have Mr. Ben Carter, an experienced primary school teacher and a parent himself. He has some practical concerns about this topic. Welcome to you both. Dr. Vance, let's begin with you. Could you please give us your opening statement?
Thank you, Alex. I'm very happy to be here. In my professional opinion, giving a child the gift of a second language early in life is one of the best things we can do for them. Many people think language learning is difficult because they remember their own experience in school. But for a young child, the process is completely different. A young child's brain, especially before the age of 5, is like a sponge. It's built to absorb language naturally and without effort. They don't study grammar rules or vocabulary lists. They simply listen, play, and interact, and the language becomes a part of them, just like their first language. Beyond this natural ability, there are significant cognitive benefits. Learning more than one language is like a workout for the brain. Research has shown us that bilingual children are often better at problem solving and thinking creatively. They can also switch between tasks more easily, which is a skill we call multitasking. This mental exercise builds a stronger, more flexible brain for the future. It helps them in school and in other areas of life. Finally, learning another language is about more than just words. It's a window to a different culture. When children learn a new language, they also learn about the people who speak it, their stories, their songs, and their traditions. This makes them more open-minded and empathetic. In our modern, globalized world, this understanding of different cultures is an essential skill. We're preparing them to be global citizens.
Thank you, Dr. Vance, for that clear and positive opening. Now let's turn to Mr. Carter. What's your perspective on this?
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate Dr. Vance's points, and in an ideal world, I might agree with all of them. But as a teacher and a parent, I see the practical side, and it makes me more cautious. My first and most common concern is the risk of language confusion and delay. I've seen parents worry about this many times. When a toddler is learning to speak, they're trying to understand complex grammar and build a large vocabulary in their primary language. If we introduce a second language at the same time, will it slow them down? Could it confuse them, making it harder to master their native language properly? A strong foundation in one language is very important for all future learning, including reading and writing. My second point is about the pressure we put on our children. A child's life is already full of learning. They're learning to walk, to talk, to share, to understand the world. Adding formal language lessons, or even informal ones, can feel like another task, another expectation. Childhood should be a time of play and discovery, not a race to learn more skills. I worry that this extra pressure can lead to stress for the child. It can make them feel like they're failing if they don't learn quickly, which is bad for their confidence. Finally, we have to talk about the resource problem. Dr. Vance speaks of giving this gift to children, but not every family can give it. High-quality language programs, private tutors, or even a native-speaking nanny are expensive. Good books and materials also cost money. This creates an unfair situation. Children from wealthier families get this advantage, while children from less privileged backgrounds do not. Education should be about creating equal opportunities, not making the gap wider.
Thank you, Mr. Carter, for raising those important practical issues. This brings us to the discussion part of our show. Dr. Vance, Mr. Carter brought up the common fear of language confusion. From your expertise, how real is this risk for young children?
That's an excellent question, and I understand why so many parents and teachers worry about it. However, modern research shows us that this fear is largely a myth. A child's brain is incredibly powerful and can easily tell the difference between two language systems. They learn who speaks which language and in what situation. Sometimes, a bilingual child might mix words from both languages in one sentence. For example, they might say, "Can I have some agua?" This is not a sign of confusion. It's a normal, temporary phase called code switching, and it actually shows a high level of language skill. The child is simply using the word that comes to their mind first. It disappears as their vocabulary in both languages grows. So, to be clear, there's no scientific evidence that learning two languages at a young age causes any long-term delay or confusion. The brain is designed for it.
That's a very reassuring point. Mr. Carter, let me ask you a question based on what Dr. Vance said earlier. She mentioned clear cognitive benefits and a special window for learning. If we wait until children are older, are we allowing them to miss a critical period of development? Are we failing to give them that brain-boosting advantage?
I don't completely disagree that there are benefits. And yes, it's easier for a young child to learn pronunciation perfectly. I accept that. However, I think we need to question the timing and the method. My main priority is the child's emotional well-being. A child needs to feel safe, confident, and successful in their communication. If a child is struggling to communicate their basic needs and feelings in their first language, adding a second one could increase their frustration. The potential cognitive benefits, in my view, do not outweigh the risk of making a child feel stressed or anxious. We can teach languages successfully when children are 7 or 10, or even as teenagers. The window doesn't just slam shut. It might be different, but it's still possible. Why rush?
If I may respond to that, the key is time till the language is introduced. Mr. Carter is right if we're talking about formal, stressful lessons. But that's not what early language education should be. It should be completely play-based. It should be about singing songs, reading colorful books, playing games, and having fun conversations. When it's done this way, it isn't a source of pressure. It's a source of joy. It's just another fun activity, like painting or playing with blocks. The child doesn't even realize they're learning. They're just playing.
That sounds wonderful in theory, Dr. Vance. But the reality for most families is very different. Parents are busy. They work long hours. Even if they want to make it fun, it often becomes another thing on the weekly schedule. Okay, it's 4 p.m. Time for our 30 minutes of Spanish. It becomes a task, not just for the child, but for the parent too. In a school setting, with 25 children in a class, it's even harder to make it feel like natural play. It inevitably becomes more like a formal lesson, which adds to the academic pressure I mentioned.
This is a very practical point. It seems the disagreement is not about whether bilingualism is good, but about the best and most realistic way to achieve it without causing problems. Dr. Vance, let's talk more about the social aspect. You said it helps children become more empathetic. In what ways do you see this happening in practice?
Certainly. When a child learns that there are different ways of saying the same thing, they begin to understand that there are different ways of seeing the world. Imagine a young child at a playground who meets another child who speaks a different language. If the first child has some knowledge of that language, they can build a bridge. They can share a toy, a game, a smile. This early experience teaches them that differences are not a barrier. It builds a foundation of curiosity and respect for others, which is a very powerful social skill for their entire life.
Mr. Carter, a quick response to that. Couldn't a child learn those same social skills, like sharing and being kind, without the language component? Is it necessary at such a young age?
Of course. Children learn vital social skills through play in any language. The most important thing for a young child socially is to build a secure connection with their parents and caregivers. They need to learn how to express their own feelings and understand the feelings of others in their immediate environment first. This is best done in the language that is spoken most fluently and emotionally at home. My point is that we should focus on getting these fundamental social and emotional skills right in the primary language first. The cultural empathy can be built on top of that strong foundation later.
This has been a fantastic discussion. We're now moving to the final part of our debate. The closing statements. Each of you will have a moment to summarize your position. Dr. Vance, you may go first.
Thank you. I want to leave the audience with this thought. Early language learning is a wonderful opportunity, not a risk. We have a small window in a child's life when they can learn a language with incredible ease. Taking advantage of this period doesn't just teach them a new language, it builds a better brain. It improves their thinking skills, their memory, and their creativity. More importantly, it opens their heart. It fosters an empathy and a curiosity for other cultures that will prepare them for a connected and global future. When done correctly, through play and joy, it's a gift that will last a lifetime. Let's give our children this key so they can unlock the world.
Thank you, Dr. Vance. And now, Mr. Carter, your final thoughts, please.
Thank you. My message is one of balance and caution. We must always put the well-being of the individual child first. Our primary responsibility is to ensure they grow up feeling happy, secure, and confident. Before we add the goal of a second language, we must first build a strong and solid foundation in their native tongue. This is essential for their confidence and their future academic success. We must be careful not to push our children too hard, too soon. We should not turn childhood into a competition. Let's protect their time to play and to grow at their own natural pace. So let's focus on a strong, secure, and happy start in education. Language learning can and will come later when the child is ready.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. And thank you both, Dr. Vance and Mr. Carter, for sharing your very insightful and passionate perspectives on this complex issue. Today, we've heard two clear sides of the argument. On one hand, the exciting potential of early language learning to boost a child's mind and open them to the world. On the other hand, the real-world challenges of pressure, resources, and the fundamental importance of a child's well-being. Perhaps the right answer is not the same for everyone. It may depend on the child, the family, and their specific situation. We hope this discussion has given you, our audience, a lot to think about. Thank you for joining us on Global Minds. Good afternoon.